Welcome to the Arizona Wildcat Show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. I'm Star Sports Editor Ryan Finley here with Daniel Burke. Daniel, in the past, Rich Rodriguez was very big on signing recruits in June. They really didn't this year, but July 1st, bam, there's one recruit, and they land another one earlier this week in Jacob Colacion. Tell me about this guy, three-star linebacker from where, La Habra, California?
Yeah, right? And it was a guy that they've really liked for several months. This isn't a guy that they just saw at a camp and wasn't one of those like quick things. This was a guy they've liked. He's an inside guy but can play outside, 6'1", 220. He'll put on weight. And you look at him and you kind of think Scooby, because why not? Right. And I think that there's some similar abilities there. And he had only one other Pac-12 offer, Washington State, but Boise State, Northwestern offered him recently. Pat Fitzgerald really liked him. Indiana, Illinois, San Diego State. So he had some options, and you're seeing the difference. I mean, the last couple of years, they were real busy in June, like you said, but they were getting guys, 2, 3-star guys who, frankly, did not have a lot of other options. Right. Now, they're being more deliberate. They're staying in it for bigger guys, and the guys that they are getting, now the guys that they're, to get the class filled up, they have other options. I mean, they've beaten Boise State now head-to-head 5 times for guys in this class, and that's a substantial step up. From what it's been the last couple of years.
What was interesting to me about Colacion when I read your story today was the coaches that were also interested in him. When you steal a linebacker away from Pat Fitzgerald, who is a college middle linebacker, when you steal a linebacker away from Rocky Long, who is a linebacker, I mean, he's the epitome of a linebacker. Yeah. He's an old linebacker, but he's a linebacker. When these other coaches have identified this guy as a player they have to get, and Rich Rodriguez, who doesn't necessarily have a great tradition of defense, Scooby Wright, certainly very good, but when he comes in and takes these guys, it has to make you feel good if you're an Arizona fan, that they're beating out good programs that play defense for defensive players.
And that's been the case, that's a good point, because that's been the case the last 3 players. Right. They've gotten Isaiah Hayes, Jabari Watson, and now Jacob Colacion. Probably just butchered that because I've been practicing off camera, not very good. But anyways, all 3 defensive players, all 3 had good options. And these are kind of, I don't want to downgrade them, but these are kind of the fillers of the class. Right. Now, Scooby Wright and Nate Phillips were fillers of the class. They were not the headliners like Derek Babish, who is at San Diego State now and I think in trouble.
Suspended for 6 games. Yeah. You ever heard of a 6-game college suspension?
And Pierre Cormier. Right. Those were the headliners that year. Right. The fillers now are guys who are pretty good players who might have been the headliners a couple of years ago, and you're seeing a giant shift. And I think July is going to be a busy month. You mentioned it. July 18th, they have a big recruiting event at Lowell Stevens. I think they'll get a couple commitments. I think July will be busy, and then it'll quiet, around camp. But I would expect to see them, if they got, 4 to 5 more commitments this month, that would not shock me.
My goodness, Daniel Burke.
We'll be busy.
It's football season.
Yeah, it's recruiting, and then
it's
media
July,
day,
but it's football season.
Camp, and then before you know it, I'll be flipping out, late deadline, and it'll be awesome.
I'm looking forward to that.
Oh, yeah. The 8 o'clock start against NAU. Ready for that?
Yeah. Daniel Burke, by the way, this guy works more hours than you could ever imagine. This guy, so many bylines in a year. And what does he get for vacation? 3 days, 3 Grateful Dead shows, then it's back to football.
Recruiting. Yeah.
And then it's recruiting. Right. How many recruits did they get when you were in Chicago?
None. First time ever. I went on vacation and they didn't get any recruits. So I would like to thank Matt Dudek and the Arizona Wildcats for that.
That's why he's the best. For Daniel Burke, I'm Ryan Finley. This is the Arizona Wildcat Show, brought to you by Fry's Food Stores. We'll see you next time.
Try this matchup. Low prices and faster checkout. You can count on it at Fry's.